Anthony Sessa, the wolf from Philly. The first time Brooklyn laid eyes on Anthony Sessa, the air got heavy. He stepped off that midnight Amtrak from 30th Street Station, wearing a dark overcoat, smoke curling from his cigarette like it was his own personal fog machine. Philly had its killers, but Sessa, he wasn't just another button man. He was a problem solver. The kind of guy you sent when you wanted chaos turned into order, or a man turned into dust. Word on the street said he was coming at the personal request of Goku D'Angelo. Brooklyn was slipping. Too many betrayals. Too many mouths whispering in shadows. Trock was dead. Harlow's betrayal was still stinking up the borough, and Christian Zintelli was making his move, smooth as oil. Goku needed somebody who wasn't tangled in New York politics. Someone clean of the Brooklyn mud. Philly muscle with no Brooklyn loyalties. That someone was Anthony Sessa. The sit-down La Tavola Nera, back room, candlelight low. Goku at the head, Nick Palermo to his right, Bambi Palermo sitting back with that watchful fire in her eyes, and Lopez leaning in the corner, silent but loaded. The door creaks. In walks Sessa, tall, lean, scars on his knuckles from fights nobody dared to ask about. He don't bow, don't kiss rings, just nods once and takes the chair left open like it was meant for him. Brooklyn's boilin', Goku says, voice gravel deep. We need a man who don't spook easy, a man who's got no skin in the local games. Philly tells me you're that man. Sessa just lights another smoke, exhales slow. I ain't here to make friends. I ain't here to play your politics. I'm here 'cause Philly don't like the smell of Kansas City creeping into New York. And if I'm being honest, neither do I. You want order? You want the streets to remember what fear feels like? Then I'm your guy, but I ain't nobody's errand boy. I work with ya, not for ya. Nick bristles, but Bambi leans forward, smirking. Good. We don't need another soldier. We need a wolf. The move-first job? He don't waste time. Within a week, Sessa cracks heads in Bay Ridge, wipes out a crew trying to skim dock shipments under Zintelli's nose. Sends the survivors back to Kansas City missing teeth and dignity. Leaves one alive with a broken jaw just so the story spreads faster than wildfire. By the end of the month, everybody's whispering it. Anthony Sessa ain't Brooklyn. He ain't Philly. He's the blade between. The streets of Brooklyn don't trust outsiders. But Anthony Sessa ain't looking for trust. He's looking for blood, order, and maybe a shot at his own piece of the pie. And whether Brooklyn wants him or not, the wolf from Philly's here to stay. Brooklyn Bloodlines Season 2, coming soon, rather you're ready or not. Bambi's Twisted Tales, Pete's Dragon, The Beast in the Fog. The Boy in the Woods. Pete was an orphan. They say he was rescued by a dragon, but let's be real. Kids alone in the woods don't get rescued. They get claimed. One night, lightning split the trees. His parents' wagon turned over, bones broken in the mud, and through the smoke it came. Green eyes like lanterns, teeth like swords. It didn't scoop him up to save him. It marked him. Pete stopped being a boy that night. He became property. The dragon's hunger. They called it Elliot. Cute name, right? But names are just cages for monsters. Elliot wasn't a pet. It was a predator, flesh scaled over flame. And here's the kicker. It didn't eat meat. It ate fear. Every time Pete screamed in the dark, the dragon licked its lips. Every nightmare, every cry for his dead ma, that's what fed it. And when Pete finally stopped being scared, the dragon made sure to give him new reasons. trees bending like gallows, fire flashing inches from his skin. A whisper in the smoke, "Don't leave me, don't ever leave me." The town that knew. The little seaside town whispered about it. Fishermen said they saw a shape in the fog, bigger than boats, watching from the waves. Sheep went missing, barns burned down, kids vanished. And every time Pete was there, wide-eyed, hollow, swearing, Elliot didn't do it. But the townsfolk knew you don't live in the shadow of a dragon without losing blood. They didn't blame Pete, they pitied him. You don't curse the leash, you curse the thing holding it. The false hope. A lighthouse keeper took Pete in, tried to give him warmth, bread, a bed. Pete smiled for the first time, thought maybe he'd escaped. But dragons don't give up their toys. Elliot hovered over the cliffs, eyes burning, tail cracking the rocks, reminding Pete, "You're mine." When storms rolled in, the dragon didn't stop ships from wrecking. It caused them. Fire on the horizon, fog so thick it drowned men before the waves touched them. And who was always found wandering the wreckage, barefoot, dazed? Pete, the boy cursed to walk where the dragon feasted. The price of freedom. They say in the fairy tale ending, the dragon saved the day, lit the lighthouse, and then left Pete in peace. But let's call that what it is, a fucking lie. Dragons don't leave, they wait. Elliot didn't abandon Pete. It just went back to the fog, hungry again, waiting for the next lost child. And Pete? He grew up, sure. Got a family. But every storm, every shadow in the woods, every flicker of green light in the corner of his eye, he knew. The bond never broke. One day, when his guard dropped, he'd hear the wings again. And this time he wouldn't walk away. The dragon's truth. You want to know the truth? Pete's dragon wasn't about friendship. It was about dependency. About how monsters hook their claws in lonely kids, 'cause lonely kids got the fattest screams. Elliot was the kind of monster that don't need to kill ya. It just keeps you alive long enough to wring you dry. Moral of the story. Not every friend is salvation. Some friends are chains with scales and claws. If something feeds off your pain but promises it's protecting you, it ain't your savior, it's your captor. Cut loose or burn with it. This has been Bambi's Twisted Tales. And remember, this ain't just a channel, it's the Pizza-verse. We don't paint monsters cute. We drag 'em out of the fog and show you the fire in their teeth. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell before the next shadow in the storm calls you by name.